Hi, Andy. Thank you for doing your attorney bio video.
Hi, Pramla. Glad to be here.
All right, first question. How did you decide to co-found a law firm?
Well, the second firm I worked for was very much of a startup firm, the same as us. So I worked with many entrepreneurs and helped them turn their vision into exciting companies. And eventually, I guess I got the bug and figured that that was something I'd like to do. Although, interestingly enough, a few years later, I woke up in the middle of the night and thought, you were crazy. So I was crazy enough to do it, but lucky enough to have it work out.
Next question. How did you get involved in representing standards, consortia, and open source foundations?
Well, that very much ties into starting a law firm. When you start a law firm, especially if you had almost no clients, a mortgage, and a non-working spouse, you're very motivated to do whatever comes in the door. And one day the phone rang and a client said, can you be in Austin, Texas tomorrow and tell Motorola how to form a new consortium to set standards for their 88,000 risk chip? And I said, sure. I figured we did antitrust and we did intellectual property and we did business law, so we had all the tools and I'd figure out how to do that. So I flew down there, did a lot of listening, came back and figured out a model that's become something of an industry standard today. And that's now 230 standards and open source consortia ago, which is more than any other law firm in the world has ever helped create.
Very cool. And why do you spend so much time in this practice area?
It's mostly because of the variety. Every consortium is different, every challenge is different. They keep track with the most cutting edge things that are happening. I've been involved in every wave of technology that's come down the pike in the last 40 years representing these organizations. And they're very important. Most people don't realize it, but a very significant percentage of the regulations that people have to obey actually came out of standards organizations and not out of Congress. So no public funding, just volunteer efforts by the people that are part of the organization, and the world's a far better place in response.
Great. And I'm curious, how do you spend your free time outside the office?
Some of it is actually involved. I find the standards area very intellectually interesting. I've testified before congressional committees, just a month ago. I've testified before the European Commission. I've written more than 1 million words on the subject, started a website that often gets over 1 million page views. Outside of that, though, I do other things. I've designed 2 houses that we've lived in. I built 3 boats that I've sailed. And about 12 years ago, I started writing cybersecurity thrillers. Now that's 5 books ago with the 6th one on the way and about 100,000 happy readers.
Very cool. And last question. How has the firm changed over the years, and what do you see for its future?
Well, certainly the size has changed. We started it at a very opportune point in time and grew very rapidly up through the internet bubble. And at that point, we were sort of, in the train tracks with the train hurtling down at us because high tech is what we did. So we had a painful contraction from that. We now are much more diversified. We do a lot of additional things, even though we're still, a top-notch startup firm. But the things that haven't changed are the philosophy behind the firm that we agreed on when we founded it, which we wanted to be a better place than some of the places that we'd worked before. We wanted to really care about the people that we hired. We wanted to train them up. We wanted to treat the staff the way we would like to be treated. And one of the results is that we've had incredibly low turnover over the years. Some people have begun their careers and retired, from the firm. And that commitment has stayed the same even though we're now in our 3rd generation of management. So I fully believe that when I'm no longer around, that part of the firm will be as true as it ever was.
That's all I have for you. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you.